stream. I'm Msfs, and I really appreciate all you guys stopping by. Today, we're going to be in the new 737-700 by Pmdg, and I'm going to get the cat out of the bag, elephant out of the room, whatever you want to call it, right away. Overpriced if you already own a 737. I agree with that. Overpriced to update it, agree with that as well. But if it's your very first 737 purchase, the price I think is fair if you've never bought a 37 for 2020 or 2024. With that all out of the way, we're just going to go and do a nice little flight from Dublin to Glasgow. And we are on VATSIM, although I don't think anybody's online. I think there might be some people. Let's see if there's anybody later in the flight. Looks like there's going to be people in Glasgow, but that's about it, and hopefully they stay on. It's going to get quite late for them. But we will be doing a flight after this, WestJet from, we're going to be changing from Edmonton. We're going to try to change to Calgary to Vancouver, because I guess I don't have Edmonton scenery, so we're just going to do that. And I changed a bit of my graphics settings as well, so hopefully everything is looking good for you guys on the stream, nice and smooth and HD as much as I can possibly make it for you guys. This is the 700 variant of the 737 by Pmdg. As you guys can see, it basically offers mainly a HD texture mod. That's kind of it. So it'll be up to you if you think this mod is worth the price. Again, if you already own the 700 variant in 2020, then it's a $30 upgrade fee, which is kind of ridiculous, so it's up to you to determine if that's enough or if it's worth it for you. If you never owned the 700 in 2020 or 24, it's $75 USD. All prices in USD. I kind of wish Pmdg would come across with something like if you owned the 800 in 2020 and upgraded it to 24, you can get the 700 for a reduced price. That'd be kind of nice too, seeing how they're all really just 37s, but they don't do that. So these are some of the inner workings that they've modeled a bit better. You can actually, when you put the flaps down, see these things, little mechanisms move. Some argue, with myself included, that don't really care about that. Looks cool, but eh. I'd kind of wish if it impacts performance, I don't know if it does, but if it impacts performance, I'd rather take performance way more than modeling that. But yeah, definitely looks good. We've changed some rudder settings as well, and we've also changed some yoke settings. We got everything kind of working a little nicer, I think. And yeah, we'll say hi to you guys in chat as you guys come along. Well, Mark says, not Pokemon, you don't have to catch them all. No, but as a content creator, I'd like to showcase different things, so, you know, that's it. I think it'd be a nice little loyalty program. That's it. I'm not going to talk about the whole pricing stuff the whole stream like last time. I'm just going to start off with the start. I had my piece of it at the front of the stream, and then we're just going to fly the airplane. And that's about it. Wish the registration existed still? Yeah, this is kind of an old bird. Yeah, for sure. Lucky, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you're doing well. Reaper says hello. Hello, Reaper. Thanks for stopping by as well. Appreciate all you guys coming in here. And this is the beautiful Dublin scenery. I forget who makes this one. Might be even MK Studios for all I know. But you can pick it up on the Contrail shop. Both this and the Glasgow scenery I'm using are both available on the Contrail shop. So it'll be available to you in the description. I have a bunch of discount codes down there you guys can look at. They moved this one to Buzz AOC. I don't know what that airline is. Buzz AOC. We're going to go ahead and start this airplane up. We're in a cold and dark state, so everything's turned off, as you guys can see. And I did a custom panel state load. The things I changed in the custom panel state load was cold and dark. The original cold and dark has this in transponder mode, so I've changed that so it's an off, and I've saved it like that. And I've also saved that all the Pmdg stuff is off, so I could just use GSX. So what we can go ahead and do is we can start the boarding process here just to get everything kind of connected. But what we're also going to do is we're going to come to this little iPad. You press that, ground operations and ground power. We're going to go ahead and request that. And while that's all connecting, we can select our battery on at the overhead panel here. I'm also using a MobiFlight profile. A CST flight deck gave me a MobiFlight profile that he found online for me to use for the EFIS and PAP3 from Winwing. So we'll be using that as well. You can see we've got 24 volt battery systems. Everything's working there. And we can select our ground power to the on position. I don't know if this... yeah, we can attach it. It shouldn't break the ground power. Sometimes attaching the tug breaks the ground power in the sim. We can load everybody up. And 115 volt AC system from the ground power. So that's all working nicely. Working from top to bottom, left to right. Nothing really much we got to do here at the time being. We can go ahead and arm our emergency lights. We'll put the dome light on as well, so you guys can, well, it doesn't really make that much of a difference, but that's fine. Keep the seatbelt sign off as we're going to be refueling, so we can't have that on while refueling. Our window heats can all get selected on. Probes can stay off. Anti-ice is off at the time being. Hydraulics are set as they need to be. Some doors are open there as well. You could do a FCR test if you wanted to. And the bleed air section, we got no air running through the system right now, so I'll just close the ISO valve as well. And yeah, that's basically it for that. We'll set the pressurization in a later stage, and our position lights are set to steady, which means our navigation lights are on. We get the red light, the green light, sorry, the red light, the green light on that side, and the white light on the tail. Which I actually don't see the white light on the tail, but there should be a white light on the tail with navigation lights. I guess these count. All right, with that, we're going to start aligning our IRSs. So coming up to the top of the overhead panel, we'll select our IRS knobs both to the align position. We've got the on DC light. I believe you have to wait till it switches over to align. And the on DC light there. Head over to the FMS, and we'll select FMC, position, next page. We're going to grab our GPS left coordinate, previous page, and we'll throw that into the set position IRS. So it's going to start aligning based off the coordinates we just told it. Okay. Before we click this, I'm going to go to the iPad, and we'll select Electron Flight Bag. We'll request it from SimBrief. Whoa. There we go. And we'll press request, SimBrief, set payload, set fuel, and select route. Thank you guys for all jumping in as well, leaving likes, doing all that great stuff. Really, really appreciate that. Okay, so departure. That's 170, 20 gusting 30, so got quite a bit of wind. We'll use the, well, I guess we got to use the ignitions anyways in this airplane. Light rain. And 7 degrees, so we'll have the cowl anti-ice on, but the wing anti-ice is not required. And I'm strictly using literally just CRJ procedures on that, and we'll call it good enough. They're departing 10 right, so we can go ahead, go over here, performance, import that, select 10 right, import all this. The anti-ice will be engines on, as it's below 10 degrees with the preset. We'll import the weather, we'll calculate all that, and there we go. Now it's all been calculated. And we'll set up the FMS a little bit more. Route uplink ready, you can load that up. So we're going to be Ryanair 5563, and departure runway is going to be runway 10. Oh, that's weird. Oh, bit of a sim freeze there. That's fine. Back. Departure's 10 right, and the departure SID is the Route 8 Echo. There it is. No transition. Departure arrival. We're going to be arriving via the blank 61G. And that's good enough for me. Activate, execute all that. performance, we can request all this data. It'll be a cruise level of 250, pretty low cruise flight level actually. We'll load that up. 250 is what it's programmed already for itself, so that's perfect. We can put that in there, 250. Perfect, and we're loaded with 10.5, and that's what the flight plan's calling for, 10.5. M1 limits. It's a takeoff Toga 1 with a sec temp of 53, should spit out 86.7. 87.4, close enough. We have to be flex or higher, so that's fine. CG, it'll be a flap 1, according to that. 33, 33, 35. 33, 33, 35. That all checks out as well. 5.9 on the trim. We can just set that up right now. 5.59. About there. And we can go root. Root copy. Completed. Perfect. And we can root copy on... Oh, this one seems to be frozen. There we go. Root copy on that one. Don't know why my performance is not great right now. Could be the VATSIM airplanes. Well... Oh, it could be the passengers boarding, maybe. Although I thought I turned it off. Anyways, really appreciate all you guys jumping in. We're just going to finish the boarding process here, and then we'll be on our way to Glasgow. Time of flight's going to be 39 minutes. There's no MELs on the airplane. The weather en route will be good. They're predicting light bumps kind of in our cruise. Light to moderate bumps in cruise. But that's about it. Over there in Glasgow, the weather, VFR, light wind out of the south, and they're using runway 23. So why don't we go and just plug that up in here. ILS 23. And via the vectors will be fine. You know, execute that. Nighthawk says afternoon. Welcome, Nighthawk. Thank you so much for stopping by. Polar Pilot, welcome. Dominic, welcome. Hello. Lama, they bring in that DC6 over? Because you know we need that DC6. Fly with Adam, hello. Welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. You believe so? Ooh, don't know what work will get done on it though. Yeah, that DC6 was good. I like that DC6. It even worked quite well with the Smart Copilot add-on. That was pretty cool too. Aviation Bros, hello, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. More Rudder, hello. Welcome. What's your next stream? I've been waiting for that one. Like I says, at one time or another between Msfs and X-Plane, I have owned almost all the Pmdg products. However, I don't see any need to buy this one. There are many carriers and routes for the 800. Yeah, you could be more than content with the 800. I 100% agree with that. Lump says I really like the DC6 as well. After all, it's a classic. Yeah, the DC6 is nice. I kind of wish. Oh, I just realized there's no stairs. They're just kind of just getting zoomed up. I kind of wish Pmdg would make other aircraft like the DC6 or the MD-11 they used to do a long time ago. I know it doesn't make money, or it doesn't make as much money probably as, you know, the 737 and other airplanes. So that's why they don't do it. But some of the off-brand Pmdg planes are my favorite ones, really. Maybe the weekend? Sweet, sweet. We'll see you there. Well, we're about 10 minutes prior to boarding, or prior to push or so. Belts can come on. Get up the APU as well. Give you guys some sounds outside. Never understood why GSX never does bags at the same time as people load. Oh, you know what? I'm being a dum-dum. There we go. Let's go ahead and make sure I have my frames. Yeah, my frames are locked, but it's the performance is not great over here. Shouldn't have all these transitional problems. We'll do that. I've noticed from my system on update 5, every airplane has been very good on performance. This one, however, is a little harder for me to run, which is expected, I guess, because all the textures, but no problem in the MD, no problem in the 7.2. No problem in the Phoenix, except for the dirt all over the window. That's an update 5 beta problem. If simmers can't fly it like they're in real airline, it doesn't make money. I mean, most simmers forget that it's a flight simulator and not an airliner / cabin simulator. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see some of the, like a Pmdg DC6 or sorry DC8. That would be really cool. Or a 707 would be really cool too. Wish they'd release the DC6 already? Yeah, we've been talking about that, Rob. We've been talking about that. Well, the APU is up and online. Grab the generator from it. Some sounds might not be working, guys, because I had the Boris sound pack installed, and I think that's conflicting. So I probably should have uninstalled it, but I did not. 25,000 feet on the pressurization panel there. And the landing altitude over there in Glasgow is 21 feet. We'll just set 50, is fine with me. The APU is online. We can extract air from the APU. We can also open up the isolation valve. We can also turn on both packs to automatic. And people can start getting hot, cold, or whatever they want to do. We can change that for them. It's left aft, right? That's the fuel pump you use for the APU, right? I always remembered. I think some other companies do some other things, but I'm pretty sure it's left aft. Could be wrong. We're just going to squawk 2,000. Technically, that should be in standby. And we are good to go. So I'm going to tell GSX to just kind of go away. Because I don't want to wait for boarding. We're going to set up our MCP while it kind of resets here. We're doing Road 8 Echo. And that has us end at 230. There's no one here on ATC, so I'll just set 250. I'm using my PAP 3 from Wingwing, or Wing Control, sorry. And I'm using a Mopi flight profile for that CST flight that gave me, because it's not updated just yet. 10 right, heading up 097. And then you'd set the courses as well. I believe they only really need to do this if you're doing a VOR type departure, or NDB, as this affects nothing on your arc screen unless you're using the this mode here. If you're using this mode, then the course kind of matters, but other than that, it doesn't really tell the airplane anything in terms of LNAV, VNAV. Speed was 135, so I'll bug 145, V2 plus of 10. We can go ahead and arm the auto thrust. We can go ahead and put the left and the right flight directors on. And we can go ahead and arm the LNAV and the VNAV. And we're just going to make sure here we got auto thrust arm, LNAV, VNAV is armed as well. 250. We could press the B button, that'll set altimeters for us, nice and simple. We should be good to go. Obviously, I didn't do all the tests like the wheel well test and fire and all that kind of stuff. But if you guys want to do that, fill your boots, feel free. I think I have failures turned off for streaming purposes and VATSIM purposes as well. VATSIM doesn't like when you have failures. So. And today we're gonna fly from the right-hand seat. So we're gonna taxi from the left, as that's how that would go, and then we are going to transfer control and fly from the left. Sorry, taxi from the left, transfer control, fly from the right. So we're gonna ask for prepare for pushback and departure. And we're gonna go ahead and close all our doors up. I can release the ground power. We can go ahead and close all. We can go ahead and just make sure release all as well. No. That one. No. And parking brake is off, so let's go parking brake on, remove the chocks. Man, GSX loves that warning. It's not icing conditions. It's 7 degrees. 7 degrees, and it's not even raining anymore. But, so we're going to start them on the push. Really appreciate all you guys jumping in here. Thank you guys so much for stopping in. Moza says left aft as far as I've been told. Yeah, okay, so we're doing it right. That's from my memory banks. Fires, hello, welcome. Cheater, always scroll the barrel IRL, can't hit. Because I scroll it IRL, I don't want to do it here. So I'll just press the B button. It's a lot easier, a lot nicer. I wish I had a B button. Hopefully the sim is looking a lot better, guys. Not only is the textures updated on the 700 variant, but also I've done some settings, configuration, some reshade and stuff like that as well. Oh, something I forgot to do is we're going to tune into 22.8 and we'll just announce to everybody on VATSIM what we're doing here. There's no one on our right, no one on our left. So as soon as they're ready to push, I'm ready to push. It'll be nose to the, I believe to the right, but let me quickly check actually. Quickly checking here.
G5.
Yeah, nose to the right will work just fine. We're at stand 108 Lima. There's no icing conditions. Dublin traffic line error 5563 pushing stand 108 Lima. That would be so nice. Yeah, B button railroad would be beautiful. Got my B107 overhead panel a couple weeks ago. I really like it. Now got rid of the Protest Sim panel. I never had the Protest Sim panel, but I did see the B107. That one looks really good. I'm waiting on PU Air Korea to send me their review copy of their 737 panel that's coming out as well. Okay, guys, well, let's get the fuel pumps all on. And I should have did the beacon without, because I was too busy looking at the beautiful airplane. Packs can come off. The bleeds are still on. And we are ready to go. I guess the auto can come on as well. Let's go ahead and start number 2. Can do that. It's 20%. I'm gonna put the sounds up for you guys here. Starting number 2. Sorry, number 1. Airplane is not as good as yellow ones. Not anymore. I do see texture update on 700 a little bit, but I have to get to really see, but I don't want to pay 75 for 700. Already did for the 800 and 200 ER at frame. Yep. Yeah, stick with 800, my friend. They'll update the 800 eventually. I have this because I'm just showing you content. If I wasn't making content for you guys, I wouldn't pay for this. Personally, I don't see a need for the 700 in my fleet. Good afternoon. Does anyone know when SU5 is releasing? No idea, but we're on the beta right now, and it works pretty well for me. Every airplane's been fantastic. I've really been enjoying the Phoenix, though. Yeah, the Phoenix is really good. The Phoenix in Sim Update 5 does have a bug with the windscreens, but other than that, it's fine. I miss it so much. You used to fly FS Labs, or used to the FS Labs. Yeah, both are good. Both are good. Hello, wasn't expecting to see you live until a little later. Still planning on doing the Edmonton flight. We've changed it to Calgary to Vancouver, but we are going to do that flight as well. Okay, guys, so let's do the after start flow here. So we can go ahead and grab our generators onto the engines. Our APU can be selected off. Ignitions can go to continuous. Probe heats can come on. In this case, because of the rain and the contaminated rain on the surface below 7 degrees, until the engine anti-ice on. Electric hydraulics can come on, pack, and the ISO valve to auto, APU bleed off. start, auto brakes to RTO. Our flat position to 1, and I'll give you guys the outside view for that. I think my sounds are a little broken though. And again, I think that's because of the Boris sound pack being installed right now. But other than that, trim is still set. We should be good to go. Little aileron check. Look at the green inside the spoiler area there. That's pretty cool. Parking brake off. Taxi light on. And away we go. Taxing callouts, in my opinion, are the most useless callouts, and that's it. As I'm not going to look at your taxis that's ways that you've told me to find your route. I'm just not going to hit you as an airplane. I'm going to use my balls and I hit you. And when you go to Nordo airports in Vermont, that's how they act. Just look at the guy. SU5 ops and United ops and the business jet. Yeah, I don't do too much of that, so for me it wouldn't matter. I don't really care for Southwest United. But definitely, that's kind of if you're a big United fan or a big Southwest fan, or just a huge 737 fan, then yeah, send it. Legend himself, Ryan Air Ops. Yes, Ryan Air's a good airline because no matter how hard you land, it's fine. Makes you want to fly the 7.3 again? You should get it. You get 2024 installed too. Put a lot of rudder curves in, so it's better control. It's way sensitive at default, in my opinion. I'm using the wing control or Airbus pedals. Mike's a little quiet. I'm going to fix that for you guys. Should be better now. Let me know how all that sounds. Never remember where the click spot is. Okay, there we go. And we're not going to use that. Alright, we're going to take this left-hand turn, so we're clear on the right and the left. Select the traffic mode on. go a little faster. We're going to be on this path for quite a little bit. Another Ryanair over there. If I had 2020, I would be able to use in 24. It's if you bought it in 2020, it's $30 to upgrade to 2024. I'm gonna take this turn a little early here because we're going a little quick. Don't want to send the FAs for a ride. I love a good HUD. Maybe they should provide airline pilots helmets with HUDs like the F-35. No, that'd be ridiculously uncomfortable. This is way better. Just fold it down when you want it. Most, I don't know about 737, but most airlines that have HUDs equipped is that HUDs must be down and used if they're in operation. Is usually how the SOP goes on that. The RJ we fly has HUDs as well. It allows us to do Cat 2, Cat 3 operation. Cat 3A. Seems strange to see you in the left seat get promoted. Yeah. Good old make-believe world. We do whatever we want. Okay, we're gonna take this right turn on Alpha. And we're going to announce that we're crossing runway 34. Dublin traffic, it's Ryanair 5563 crossing runway 34 at Alpha, crossing 34. Alright, we'll light up a little bit here. It's getting kind of dark as well. Throw the logo, and that's about it. We are clear on the left. Clear on the right.
Dublin traffic, Lufthansa 341 lining up runway 10 right, full length.
He's on the roll there. Wipers don't wipe the rain off still. Dublin traffic, Ryanair 5563 clear 34.
Traffic Lufthansa 341 taking 10.
25 knots in the sim looks a lot faster than it does real world. Have you tried the HUD in CRJ? Because it isn't only on the captain side. It is only on the captain side. We've used it in the sim to train on it, just for like an it's kind of how it works, this is how it looks type of thing. But I've never used it real world. Having a hard time telling the difference in detail apart between the updates and the 800. I loaded in the 800 earlier. There is subtle changes, like obviously they did work on the wheel well and the rivets and that kind of stuff, but just the ones you'll notice, at least the ones I'll notice more, are the textures are a little bit, they're higher definition. But for that higher definition comes at a higher cost to performance, so just keep that in mind. There's no free lunch. If it looks better, it costs more. This tax light's kind of garbage, but the RJ one's even worse, so. Doesn't seem like the logo light is working. I'm gonna go make sure I turned it on. I did not. There we go. I turned the wheel well light on when I did not need. Dublin traffic, Ryanair 5563, lining up runway 10 right via Sierra. Alright, I'll get the cameras on for you guys. We're using the Moza yoke, which is a force feedback yoke that I have my own profile, a custom profile I made. And then over here, we're using the Pro Desk Sim 737 thrust levers, spoiler, and flaps with all the gated positions and all that kind of great stuff. If you guys want to check out the ProDesk Sim or the Moza yoke, be sure to use my link in the description, as it does support the channel, so I'd really, really appreciate that. It allows me to buy airplanes like this just to show you. So we're cleared lineup. We'll go ahead and light them up. And we're also going to go ahead and get the TCAS TARA on. Oop. I wanted to give like a... There you go.
Traffic to 978 is on final approach ILS 21710.
Sorry if there's too much glare outside from the window on that yoke camera. Very small little stubby plane, this. Alright, if you guys are ready, if you guys are members of the channel, put your flex emojis in chat. We're gonna stand them up. You guys in here, and toga. We do have some pretty impressive wind going on, so we'll keep an eye on that.
80 knots.
That's checked. Not needing much rudder, so that's good. Phone call, of course.
V1.
Rotate.
Positive ring.
There you go. Gear up. Feels weird getting in the air with wind. I've never felt an airplane that feels like that, but whatever. There's the gear up. Yoke shaking, everything's going nuts, which is all cool. That Wingflex looks really awesome. Get the after takeoffs in just a second here. Go gear. All those can come off. Flap 0. Auto brakes can come off. Yeah, this new yoke profile I made for this feels way, way better. We're in the soup. Might as well turn on the wing anti-ice on now, as it's gotten colder. Actually, it's plus 10. It's almost plus 9, so technically we still need it below plus 10, but it's actually getting warmer, so we got an inversion happening. It happens sometimes in real life as well. And I got that temperature right here. And that's our true air temperature. That's our TAT, which is, that technically changes as we get faster. The skin friction of the airplane does get hotter, and that true air temperature will affect that hotter temperature. It's not the static air temperature. Alright, there's standard. Press my little EFIS button for the on the wing control to do that. I want a hand fly, but I also want to give some cool views. Oh, you know what? Didn't I say I was going to fly from this side? There we go. Already messing up. Alright, we can let the flight attendants go up out of their seats. Actually, we'll wait till we're out of these clouds. Might get a little bumpy for them to start walking around. She hand flies very, very well. The takeoff feels weird to me. But I don't think it's a Pmdg thing. I think it's a Microsoft Flight Sim tire friction on runway type thing. It doesn't. The tire friction's weird with wind in this sim. I've noticed when I was helping the RJ group with their flight model and all that kind of stuff. It's very, very strange. Alright, bad enough. Command B, actually. There we go. Command B is on through 10,000 feet, lights out, and the pressurization is checked and climbing. We should be out of the soup for the most part for the time being, so the anti-ice will all come off. And everybody is out of their seat as well. I'm going to lower the volume here. You guys can hear me a bit better. And we'll increase our range. Fire says, sometimes I'll want to fly the NG, I'll load into the, then I'm like, nah, I'll go with the Max. Yeah, Max is a cool plane too. That iFly is very, very well done. It is really reflective space, yeah. I have my, my Raymark reflections turned up to high. Oh, what's not a good noise? Which one? Which one, Rob? Oh, my ringtone. Yeah. No, that I was technically reserved today, and yesterday got called out to fly today on a 4-leg day, but all the flights got put onto the Embraer, so I just get to sit home and I keep the credits. So we're chilling. We're chilling. This looks beautiful though. It could be chase plane. The camera always shakes around a lot on rotation. Okay. It says few. Phew.
7 traffic, Shamrock 137, pushing start. Right now.
Well, America, if you're still here, let me know in chat real quick.
Right now, 1234, Dublin traffic, final for aisle 10, left.
All right, let's go ahead and turn the wing off, logo off through 10 as well. Don't need that. And the contingent ignition go to off as well. All the juggernauts are streaming right now, so we're not gonna get all the people from yesterday, but I really appreciate you guys being here. Really clean for the 700? Yeah, it should be batted up, eh? Bunch of aviation tape all over the place. Might make a new thumbnail for this stream. I kind of made one quickly because this stream wasn't going to actually happen. I kind of just did it, or came up with the idea because I was supposed to do the WestJet one, and we are going to do that one still. The flyby cam for what? Screenshot? Yeah, I like this little drone camera personally. Have you tried the camera mode in the sim? It lets you adjust exposure and depth of field. I have, however, the problem is it doesn't work with chase plane. So if you're running chase plane, it doesn't work. And chase plane is significantly better than the default camera system, so that's the problem. That is the problem. This is one of the better thumbnails I've made, actually. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, it does. I really wish I could use the default camera system and chase point at the same time, but it gets very squirrely if you install it that way. Alright, new thumbnail's coming up right now. I think it looks pretty good, actually. Please be sure to hit that like button as well, guys. Really, really appreciate that. Yeah, that new thumbnail's a lot better. They're not bad when I take my time. But again, this was a pop-up stream. The next thumbnail on the next stream, the Calgary to Vancouver stream, was made by Aviation Bros. So thank you to him for making that. Alright, target speed of 0.62. We're basically there, 0.61 actually. We're basically there. We're going to go this a little bit quicker. We're going to tell this thing 0.75. If it can even do that. Doesn't seem like it can. Reset MCP altitude. Well, we're at a cruise, so I'm not going to do that. But it's probably saying you can't go that fast if you're that low, in a Boeing way of saying it. So we're going to do this. Still says reset MCP altitude. How about we do 280? Still can't do it. Okay. I'll just change my cost index. 85. There we go. Wants me to reset because we've got to start descending here soon, so I'll let it go down. Start off with 6,000 feet. And we'll start setting up for the approach. Not a long flight, this. This is a very nice little short flight before our little Calgary flight that we do. They actually got us the lowest on the star is 7,000, so it's at 7,000 as the lowest on the star. It's ready to go and set in there. And the approach again will be the ILS 23, which is a frequency of 10.1. We'll go down here and set that. 10 decimal. Oh no, let's do this. There we go. Throw the top. Throw to the top. Oh, whoa, why is the performance so bad now? There we go. That was weird. 228 on the course. I'm using my wing control PAP 3 to do that. .228 both left and the right hand side. Go to our landing performance here. I'm actually going to fix that view. There we go. Import from SimBrief. We're using runway 23. You can import all that. You can import the weather. It's going to be anti-ice off. Calculate that. Land distance of 7,700 feet. That's quite a lot. Do I got an auto brake setting anywhere? Here's the descend point starting to come up, the decel point. no credit. We'll just call it 137. I guess we just do +5. Make that bigger. There we go. So that's been told in its brain. We'll do an auto brake of 2. Be more than fine for us today. We'll select terrain on. I assume the plane's going to start descending sometime. Because it's not. So we're going to go flight level change. There's a max of 250 knots. So it's not going to make that like at all. Let's see. Flight level change 250. And we got the boards out as well. We'll just CRJ it. That's fine. VNAV, we don't CRJ pods don't trust VNAV anyways. So even with boards out at 250, it's gonna pass way high. I don't know why it wasn't. It had it all here, and we put it lower when it wanted, and it got significantly lower and lower. Unless maybe I didn't do it lower before top of descent. It's probably why I missed it. That's okay. There's no ATC online, so we will go ahead and make our own rules up. There's clouds coming up, going through the wing and the anti-ice on as well. Wing and engine, as it's -17. And you can see you get the TAI popping up for the anti-ice. You know what? The max speed is 250 a bit later on. Let's see if I can dive this thing down a little bit more. Actually, no, it's only 8 miles, so... Let's see what we can do here. That's when we're going to be at 15,000 right there. I missed it? Yeah. Saying that because you're top of that? Yeah. You have the landing en route auto brake setting. Landing en route for auto brake setting. Slope, condition, dry, anti-ice, air conditioning, flap, reverser, auto brakes. There we go. That's auto brakes 3 it has. About 2. Alright, we'll do 3. 3 looks nicer. A little high at that point. We're going to select back to 250 knots. We'll do one of the restrictions hopefully well. And the anti-ice doesn't make it easy to slow down either. Wing anti-ice on 77 is a de-icer, and it's only used once you already see ice on the wipers, and it's only used for 1 minute at a time. I have a very hard time believing that, but seeing how it's called anti-ice. So if it's called anti-ice, it's not a de-icer, and the 1 minute limitation I don't know about either. But all jet aircraft, they don't have boots on board. It's all bleed air, except for the 87, which is electric anti-ice, but all jets are anti-icing, so you want to have your anti-ice on prior to getting ice on the airplane. This is a tool to see if you're getting ice. That's about it to say if you keep it on. Could be wrong, but pretty sure I ain't. But yeah, anti-ice is always preventative. It's anti, not de-ice. They would have called it de-ice if it was. Now, should I have it on at this certain speed? That's a different question. Or different answers. Some SOPs will differ, I'm sure. As like in the RJ climbing up above 250 knots, you don't need an anti-ice, but on our descent we use it regardless, just in case for an approach. So there's different SOPs on how to do it, and it's a different airplane completely, but I'm just giving you an example. But I'm gonna rebuttal the de-ice part. That no jet really wants to do that. It's usually the de-ice boots, like a Q400 will work that way. Which now they've actually shone away from that as well. Now it's just if you're gonna encounter icing, have your icing stuff on. They're starting to change that rule about de-icers as well. My ears? Oh, you'd be fine. I've descended in real life at 5,000 a minute. I don't feel a difference. There's captains that have done 7,500 a minute. The RJ, no one, not even the flight attendants had a clue. You'd be more than fine. Return leg, we're not going to do return because we're going to be doing the other flight later tonight. So we'll probably just do this one. Although it is a pretty short little flight, but we'll stick to the plan, and we'll just do the one. There's 10,000 feet. Ignitions can come on. Land lights can come on as well. And we can give our an attendance ring to wrap it up. I can picture like Maddie just scouring through documents trying to find the SOP on the anti-ice. Alright, let's go ahead and get rid of the boards. Go to vertical speed, do 1200 for the time. Actually, we'll do about 700 for the time being. Rearm the VNAV. And we'll recapture that. And I'm basically just going to go, let's do this. We're going to go heading mode, and we're going to go ahead and set in 3,000 feet. Vertical speed 1,000 is fine. Actually, we'll do 14 or so. Legs page, bring us to the top. 228. Insert. Execute. There we go. We built ourselves a little course there. Reduce our rate of descent to about 800 feet a minute. Put the cameras back on for you guys. Gonna arm our spoiler. Yeah, it looks like CF23 is about a 12-mile final out. Sorry, no. Let's see. Yeah, so we can start turning inbound there. That'll work just fine. The transition. 2965, that agrees. I guess we should be in Q and H technically. And it should be 1005. It's a pretty far downwind that star puts you on. Glasgow traffic, it's Ryanair 5563. We're on a left base from a 23, Glasgow. This sim is looking gorgeous on Sim Update 5. We're gonna go flap 1. And might as well throw on our wing, whoops, and logo as well. Since it's visual conditions, I'm going to go down to 2,200 feet. And we'll do full vertical speed still. And runway's inside on the left side there. Yeah, TIS is still on for this little portion, and we'll take it off a little bit later.
2,500.
Check. Adults alive. I'm gonna cut this in for a nice short final here. Low glide slope arm. Would be nice if road vehicles got X-plane treatment. Yeah, it would be. I think I have mine off or low. Should probably turn them on. This sim's looking fantastic right now, though. Is low captured? Lap 5. Alright, flight recorder is recording. You can guys see the yoke moving here. That's the Moza force feedback yoke all moving around. There's glide slope captured. We can go ahead and go gear down. Full lap 10. Missed approach altitude of 3,000. Is set and confirmed. Glasgow traffic, it's Ryanair 5563 on short final, runway 23, Glasgow. Flap 15. Alright, slowing to our VREF, 137, flap 20. Flap 25. Nope, that's flap 30, sorry. This sim looks fantastic right now. Go ahead and lower these screens a little bit. A little bright. Maybe. Alright guys, you ready? Autopilot disengaged. And the auto thrust disengaged as well. Yeah, this yoke setting feels great.
500.
Oh, not the APU. Didn't mean to do that one. My mic barb's getting in the way there too. Correcting on the slope there, we're visual though.
300. 200. 100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Alright, reverse green spoil is deployed. The manual braking. Reversers are stowed. Stopping the replay about there. Okay. Feel like I took off brakes at like 25 knots, but that's fine. And we'll take this nice fast exit here. Actually, should be a slow exit, but we're gonna take it fast. Perfect. Exiting the runway there, we're clear on the right. We're clear on the left. I don't know where these guys would park. Probably somewhere in there. So let's go ahead and get all our lights situated here. I never turned that on, I guess. That can stay on. That can stay there. And flaps. There we go. Ignition, ignition. Transpondered off as well. Or not off, but just transponding. TCAS is off. It's funny you have to control that in these airplanes, like the Airbus and 37. The RJ is automatic for the TCAS stuff. There we go. We'll turn the cameras off. Burke, welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. Take it fast because they're flying Ryanair. Exactly, exactly. You got a new sub, love from India. Thanks so much, Davish. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Madison Medic, hello, welcome, welcome. Thanks for putting the butter emoji in there. Appreciate you, my friend. I see some other Ryanairs over there. They probably park over there, but I'm gonna park in here. I love that sound. If you overturn the nose steering, you hear that little the tire kind of treading a bit more. Starting the APU. Let's see. Where's 24? He's at 23. 28. 29, so we'll do 24. Should work. Marsher has been dispatched on site. Well, I think he's in the building. The taxi light is now off. Weather radar was never turned on. It is off. I'm going to put the gen on the APU. Shutdown number 1. That bridge seems a little extended. But there's nice for me. Park and brake is on. Other engines have been taken offline. The APU bleed can be thrown online as well. And isolation valve open is all right with me. Belts can be turned off. Oh, whoops. I should have been off a long time ago. My fault on that. Hydraulics will be selected off. Fuel pumps, except for the forward aft, can be turned off. Or the left aft, sorry. Lights. Position and strobe off. No, that stays steady. And collision light off. I wish they just named it beacon nav. or nav beacon, that'd be nice. Probes. And that's, for my shutdown procedure anyway, is pretty much about it. That's kind of all you really need to do. If you want to turn around and do another flight. Look at that parking job. It's pretty decent. All I have to do is kind of go just a little bit to the right. I found 2 FCOMs and they both said that primary usage of wing anti-ice is to use as a de-icer, but the secondary method is to use as anti-ice. Interesting. Yeah, you have to guess. That's probably the Boeing thing. You might have to look at the company SOP to SOP. They probably do the secondary method. Usually the safest method is the best method to do. Most people don't like getting ice accumulated and then being like, oh, there's ice. Oh. I've noticed that my flap handle isn't the exact same. Let me make sure my protest's in here. 0, 1, 2. Ah, there's the problem. There's no 2. Okay, well, I'll put it back to 0. We'll give you guys the replay. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that shine on the throttle. That looks really good. Let's disconnect from VATSIM real quick. It looks like you can use it as either. Cool, makes sense, makes sense. So basically what they're saying is like if the anti-ice is strong enough to melt it off, and then there is a secondary method of using as a preventative measure, which I would assume most companies would go with that. You don't really like to see if you're building ice. Now, past certain speeds, there's usually certain speeds where it doesn't matter. Again, I don't know what the speed on this airplane would be, but for example, in the CRJ after 230 knots, we don't need anti-ice on the wings anymore. Unless the ice light comes on, then we can turn the anti-ice on, or we have to. But our SOP is descent. We turn them all on regardless. So it's just different. It's what the company wants versus what the manual says. So the manual, the company has to go with the manual, and they can go safer than the manual, but they can't go less safe than the manual. So, hey, fly what you like. It's a video game. There's no icing modeled anyways, so we're just having some funsies. Put that in the final approach configuration. We'll rearm the spoiler. Get these engines back up online for you guys, and we will do the replay. Get our lights back on as well. Perfect. That can come on as well. Yeah. All right. Everything looks like it's working quite well. The engines are back up and running. We're going to press replay.
80 knots.
They always go into the building, then get mad at you when you park it wrong. Exactly. Yeah. You're not really supposed to park. What's that clock sound we're hearing? Flick, tock, tick tock, tick. But yeah, you're not really supposed to park unless you have a marshaller. What's that sound, I wonder?
Airspeed low. Airspeed low.
Well, that wasn't it. Okay, well, disregard that ticking sound. Give you guys some wing views first. Really, really appreciate you guys stopping by. We'll be doing another one of these soon. This left turn is me trying to trying to find the lights on. This is where the P or Korea light panel comes in handy, actually. What are your reviews on the Pmdg 700? So it depends. If you don't have any of the 737s paid for already, then this is a great aircraft. It's not the most widely used 737 though, so you might want to go better with like an 800. More airlines use that airplane, but this is a fantastic addition. If you already own the 737 800 or 900 for Microsoft Flight Sim, then this one you're not going to really get anything else different. It's just going to be a smaller version. So that's kind of, I would say, if you don't own a 737, it's a good choice, except the 800 will probably give you a little bit more flying, different routes to do. The 800 is just a longer version of this with slightly worse textures, but the textures, I believe, they said will be updated soon. We're going to turn it down to day a little bit so we can kind of see what happened here. I kind of hope Pmdg can work on their texture loading as well. There's that kick of the rudder. Beautiful. Beautiful landing. Let's watch from outside here. Holding that left aileron input in. Found in the Ryanair in Egypt. Sounds good. Sweet, 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 sweet. Yeah, it's always good to have extra information. Nice landing. That last time trying to land this bird, my yoke disconnected on the flare. Nice. Didn't expect this land from Ryanair. Ryan, you know what? Ryanair can land sometimes. But it's fun to fly Ryanair because in case the landing's bad, you can just say, "Well, it's a Ryanair." That's, you know, a lot less pressure. Didn't see any mention of time limit. You can use it, so I think wrong about that. No worries. Yeah, 1 minute time limit seems terrible. What if you have a? What if you have to hold and you're in icing conditions? You can't use the wing anti-ice. That'd be a bad idea. Adam, hello, welcome, welcome. Sim looks great. I know, man. The sim looks amazing. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm using. Let me turn the sounds down a little bit. I'm using reshade. These are my new reshade settings I'm using, and it makes the sim look fantastic. It does cause a bit of more VRAM usage, but it makes everything look fantastic. There were some people on the Pmdg forums and a few other sources that said you had a 1 minute time limit, but I saw no mention of that in the FCOM. Yeah, that'd be an interesting one. That would be a very bad idea if there was a time limit on wing anti-ice. Think of this scenario. Imagine you take off, it's icing conditions, you lose an engine after V1, and now you gotta run all these checklists and do all those kind of things, and you don't have anti-ice. That'd just be a terrible idea. I wouldn't put it past Boeing to do it, but that would not be fun to have to go with. Sorry, chase plane is chase planing. Look at that. Oh, that looks spectacular. Don't worry about all the sound glitching everywhere. What are my sim settings? I can show you here. These are the sim settings here, Fires. This is sim update 5, so I'm allowed to have a little bit better performance going on. I like to have this max frame rate set to 45, but I'm going to try turning it off for right now. But these are my settings here. What is this? I don't even know what this is. Choose between a series of presets. The heck does this even do? I don't even know what that does. I need someone to tell me the difference about that. That's it. Those are my settings there. And then I have reshade running with this profile right. Oop, this profile right here. Roll flyby. And he has a bunch of them turned on. I just have these 3. They do cause more VRAM issues though. This is without. This is going to be without it. That's without reshade. This is with reshade. I just think it looks better. A lot of people don't like it. I like it. Henry says, just tuned in. That was a butter. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We can't hear the sim anymore. There you go. There you go. Many people around in the community nowadays trolling Pmdg a lot. Yep, I was doing that a bit yesterday. The price is a little crazy. It's an awesome product, but the prices are insane. Another thing, Fire, is what I do is I also use a tool called NVIDIA Profile Inspector. And with that tool, I turn off rebar. I have rebar turned off. Don't know why that's flickering. Farm scenery looks really good. It does look very, very good. Europe in general on this sim looks fantastic compared to North American scenery. I don't know why.
Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low.
See, I want to give you guys these, but I never know how to turn this warning off. I train inhibit it, but it doesn't matter. But I love to give you these kind of views too.
Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low.
But we have to listen to that.
Too low. Terrain. 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 Too low. Terrain.
Guess we're not too low terrain anymore.
Too low. Terrain. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Let's sit in the jump seat.
Airspeed low. Airspeed low.
Oh, that's the light that's going. Huh. Click, click, click. Maybe, stop replay. There we go. Replay.
Airspeed low. Airspeed low. Airspeed low. Airspeed low. 500.
There. Sorry, that was all fiddling with my lights. But we get back on track here. That's why you need that's why you need two people in these kind of airplanes.
200. 100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Nice. All right, guys. With that, we're gonna end this this show right around here. And hope you guys enjoyed so far. We will be doing more of this later on tonight in about 2 hours or so. We're gonna do Toronto. No, we're gonna do Calgary to Vancouver. So some mountainous views is what we're gonna be doing. So thank you guys so much. We're gonna press the replay button. Burke says for max VRM. Yes, that's why I do it. Like I know what rebar is. I can show you in the stream Discord after. There might be a setting deep in the MCDU setting to turn off that voice. Ooh, that's a good idea actually. That's not a bad idea. I might have to try that actually. We're gonna leave you guys with this. I will see you guys in about 2 hours. Let's see. Yeah, about 2 hours from now. So see you guys later. Bye bye for now.